Cancerians, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. So we're going to do the week ahead reading. We're going to do it slightly different this week. I really just want to focus on what the messages are from the angels, from the universe, from God this week for you guys. We're going to use the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabella Rotman. For your spiritual advice, we're using the John Holland Psychic Tarot of the Heart. And for any clarifiers, we're using my trimmed Thelema deck, okay? So really this is just a kind of message for the week from Spirit, I guess. So let's get shuffling, guys. Okay, Cancerians, I really just wanted to see what the message was, because we're going through some really kind of uncharted times, uncharted waters. I mean, you know, it's something that I just think it kind of shocked the world, and you know, it's a very frightening thing. So I just wanted to see what message the universe has for you this week. Right, the Two of Swords energy. I just really feel that this is like protection. It looks like protection. It looks like you need to protect yourself with this Two of Swords energy showing here. Well, no, the Two of Swords energy. I think that this is a time for learning and gaining more insight into your families this week. Because, you know, for every bad thing that happens in life, Cancerians, something good comes off it. That's the yin and the yang of life. And one of the things I've been noticing is that, you know, a lot of us kind of don't see our families that much. And we spend a lot of time kind of just going to work, going out partying, you know, having a good time. And we don't go and see you know, our families, and at the moment we can't. So I'm talking about the family that you're in at the moment, the family that you live with. That's what I'm talking about. And even the family that you're away from, it may be a good time to connect with family, because I think that this week is a good time for gaining more insight with that Two of Swords on your close relatives, on the people that you live with, even if the people that you don't live with, maybe a phone call, you know, or getting on Messenger. It's like the other day, myself, my twin sister and my nephew down in Birmingham, we all did this kind of like three-way chat on Messenger where we just all talked about nonsense and had a laugh. And we did, you know, this morning I was on Messenger with my twin and my niece, all having a laugh, putting on one of those funny faces that they have on Messenger, and just everybody just laughing, and it was lovely. So it's a week for really getting more insight and really just getting to know more about who your families are, you know, with that Ten of Coins energy showing there, okay? Page of Wands is a time to have fun, to laugh this week with the Page of Wands, because when you get cards like the Page of Wands, any of the pages really, especially the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, or if you get cards like the Three of Cups, or even the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, Cups and Wands are usually about the fun element of life, the joyful element of life. So Page of Wands is time of is fun, but also it's time to gain more insight into your family, especially possibly your children as well, with that Page of Wands energy showing there. Six of Coins, the generosity as well. So it's about giving with the Six of Coins energy. The Moon energy showing there. So let's have a look at this, Cancerian. Sometimes people read the Moon as a Cancer card, and sometimes it's read as a Pisces card as well. You know, there are those who have a deep desire to be loved, because the Moon is about love, all right? It's about but when you look at the Moon as love, it's about having a very deep desire to be loved. And it's a time now, maybe that some of you guys haven't had time to spend with your kids. Maybe you've always, you know, you were always out working or really busy with, you know, just getting on with life, and there was only time when you came in from work to cook the dinner and to, you know, to feed the children, and that it all became very kind of systematic. Well, now is the time, I think, this week for really digging deep as well with this Moon energy here, and giving more to the children, to your family, getting to know with this Two of Swords, because Two of Swords also means a deep insight. So this is about getting inside, getting to know the family more, playing games with the Page of Wands energy showing here, okay? There's a deep desire maybe for a child to be loved, to maybe your children, some of you guys, you don't have, you know, your work has not allowed you to spend more time with your children. Well, this is a good week for kind of giving, especially if you've got kind of any female children as well with that Moon card there, all right? It's a time for kind of sharing and giving perhaps to female children as well. especially if you've got children around the, 13, 12, 13, girls that are just kind of coming up to kind of puberty period time. It's a time to share information and, give help. But also, I definitely feel that it's a time to gain more insight on the family, time for fun, but also for sharing between, your children, whether it's your male children or your female children, with the moon and the page of wands sitting in there. But also it's a time for exploring as well with that page of wands energy, how you can give to others as well, because the page of wands is exploring and the six of coins is how we can give to others. The people in the shadows, perhaps the homeless people who aren't really being represented that much too in the media. What else have we got here? The Ten of Wands comes up. This showed up for Scorpio. So carrying a heavy load is the Ten of Wands energy showing here. Oh, see, so there's people here who are carrying a heavy load. There's a lot of worry and anxiety with the Nine of Swords showing here. Okay, the Knight of Wands energy. So the Knight of Wands energy is forcefulness. Okay, but the Knights also protect as well. This looks like this person is coming to the aid of this. So Cancerians, it's a week for trying to, it's a week for trying to come to the aid of these people that are feeling this. All right, this is now for me the helper card of the Knight of Wands, because he's going into this. So if you look at him, it's almost like he's delivering food to the burdened and, to the needy, those people who are feeling really burdened and really worried. And if you look at these people, there's only one person per card. So these people could be in isolation. Well, they're obviously in isolation, but people who are on their own. Maybe they're family members. Okay. And also the Two of Swords means to cut. So this is a week for trying to cut the problems. Two of Swords energy. Trying to cut through the problems of people within the family who seem to be worrying. So you may have family members that are really worrying because they've been, they're on their own. They're on their own, they're wondering, how am I going to get my shopping in? How am I going to get this? Because I don't know about you guys in America or anywhere else, but I certainly know that, in the UK, you can't get your shopping online. We can't order anything online. All the booking slots are gone. And there'll be a lot of vulnerable people, the Nine of Swords energy, showing there, who will not be able to get their shopping online, and they'll be afraid to get out. Or they're elderly, they can't order online because all the slots have gone, and they're afraid to go out because they've been told to stay in their homes for the next 3 months by the UK government. I don't know whether anybody anywhere else is doing kind of like the over 70s, but you'll have people that are, feeling very vulnerable right now. The Nine of Swords shows vulnerability, fear, people who are fearing going out as well. The Knight of Wands is going out. He's exiting, he likes to travel. So there are a lot of people who fear the idea of travel here. Okay. And this is the week for helping those vulnerable people. Week for helping the vulnerable, the fearful and the vulnerable people. It's a week for doing that, if you can. If there are any, and also the Six of Coins means to volunteer as well. So the focus, maybe you could explore opportunities where you can volunteer, Six of Coins energy, your services to the vulnerable. To those who are feeling burdened and vulnerable, those who are scared to go outside of their home, perhaps they're elderly people, This could be a week to kind of try and focus on that, focus on exploring that potentially this week, okay? Leaving home. Some people are afraid to leave. So I'm afraid, Nine of Swords, to leave the Knight of Wands, the home of the Four of Wands. All right, the focus of the Two of Swords needs to be on how you can help, how you can volunteer your services to helping those people in need. Okay, the Ten of Coins energy showing there. Yeah, they don't want to go. Look, see, they're afraid. So the Two of Wands is a card that represents you're not leaving the home. So when you're the Two of Wands, and also people are distant from their families as well. So those people, look at these cards here. So what cards represent the home? The home is the Four of Wands. What cards represent leaving the home? The Knight of Wands. What cards represent being distant from family? The Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands and the Four of Wands, that's somebody who can be distant from their family there with the Four of Wands. This can also be somebody who's afraid as well, because the Two of Wands is often, even though they want to take charge, sometimes this is somebody who is resistant to taking charge. So you might find that you've got somebody around you who's not only afraid to leave, who's not only scared to leave Knight of Wands, the family home, they're also distant from family, okay? There's a lot of pressure there as well. We've got a lot of wand cards here. So there's a lot of fire, a lot of energy, a lot of pressure showing here, okay? And I think that this week, Cancerians, the universe is saying that this is a week for you guys focusing. There's a self-focus here. There's a need for you to focus, go within and gain insight and focus with that Two of Swords showing there, Cancerians, on how you can help with the Six of Coins energy showing here. The vulnerable of the Moon card showing here, okay? So gain insight this week. Look at ways with that Two of Swords, okay? Open your mind as well. The Two of Swords also means, because the two swords are in this like this, and they're both mental cards, it's a week for going inward, gaining insight and focus, but also opening up the mind. So this is a week for doing those things. It's all very much a mental week. It's a week for going inside, focusing on helping others, but also looking at ways, opening your mind to how you can help and be of service to the vulnerable with the Moon energy, to those who are feeling stressed out, to those who are worrying with the Nine of Swords about leaving their homes, to those who may be distant from family with the Two of Wands and the Four of Wands, who may struggle with that Ten of Wands energy to travel with the Knight of Wands, and who may struggle, for example, to get food, things like that with the Ten of Coins energy and the Six of Coins. So this is a week for really focusing on how you can help others. Okay, now it could simply be, I mean, I don't know whether any of you guys are involved in any volunteer schemes or anything like that, but it's certainly in whichever way that you could, and especially if they're family members, you know, can you bring supplies with the Six of Coins to the family members? Especially, you can see the old guy here standing out to me, especially those with children and those who are, you know, elderly. This is a week for focusing on how you can help with the Six of Coins energy, elderly family members, because they may be stressing out, you know, they may be worrying about leaving the home, you know, and because they're distant from family, they don't have anybody around them. So this is a week, if it's not other people, then certainly if you've got elderly people or vulnerable people or people with mental health issues, the Nine of Swords and the Moon energy, if you've got any of those types of people around you, Cancerians, it's definitely a week for focusing on how you can be of service to them. I also feel that it's a week for really kind of, you know, focusing on gaining more insight, learning more about your families as well, possibly your children with that Page of Wands energy, especially if you've got any teenage girls or anything with that Moon energy here. All right, it's because some of these kids around you, Cancerians, may be crying out for attention because there's a deep desire here to be loved. But because before the before the virus hit, you know, we were just going about our lives. Some of us weren't paying attention to those who are nearest and dearest to us. We were doing all of the systematic things, I guess. For some of you guys, you've got kids, you're going out to work, you're coming in, you're doing dinner, you know, whatever, going to bed, getting up the next day. But this is a real chance to focus on the family as well. Two of Swords is focus, and that's the family. It's a real chance this week also to focus on the family, especially those people who are really stressed out. Let's have a quick look at what the spiritual advice is for you guys this week in 2 cards using the John Holland deck. What is the spiritual advice that you have for Cancerians this week in 2 cards? What's the spiritual advice that you have for Cancerians this week in 2 cards, please? From the top of the deck, what's the spiritual advice? Right. It says the spiritual advice is success and growth. Okay, so that would be the 8 of Wands, I think. Okay, you need to rebuild your success and growth. Success and growth can be rebuilt. Okay, so it just seems, I've just done Scorpio's one where it was telling them the advice for Scorpio was to, you know, believe that you can succeed. Okay, and, you know, believe that you can succeed, because some people are doubting that we can get through this, but you can. For you guys, you need to success is telling you that the spiritual advice is that success and growth can be rebuilt. So some of you guys, especially if it's a case of, I think with these cards, if you run your own business, for example, or you know, you've got a job, but you can't go into the job, or you're being put on half pay, or you've been put on no pay at all, and you're having to go to the government for help and that type of thing, Cancerians. I think the universe is saying, look, some of you guys might be at a point where you say, oh my God, I've just started getting my life into order here. I've just started to, really build myself up again financially. And look what's happened. Now I've just have to go back to the drawing board because this virus that's hit has just kind of like hit everything that I've been trying to build. But I think that if you're feeling that way, Cancerians, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, I've just spent all this time trying to build myself up and now I'm getting knocked back down again. The universe is saying, don't have any fear on that, Cancerians, because it's going to come around again, all right? The success and the growth that you've experienced, okay, you may feel that you're having a knock on that now, but it can definitely be rebuilt. You just need to believe it, all right? Okay? At the end of the day, this can happen again for you. You can become successful and you can grow financially and every other way again. You just need to believe that this can be rebuilt. It's telling you that success and growth can be rebuilt. It's not the end. This is simply a little bit of a delay, but the good times are going to roll again. They really are. All right, that is your reading for the week, Cancerians. Stay safe, my darlings. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.